guys, how's it going? Today we've got a couple of projects going on. First of all, I'm going to be working on planting more bulbs, but we're going to be focusing more on planting bulbs in containers and talking through those details. We've got a lot of large containers. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the large containers that we used to have along our east fence line. They're just kind of popped throughout the landscape out here in the south garden, and I thought it would be so beautiful to just pack them full of bulbs for next spring. And then while we're working on that, Aaron is going to be working on some Christmas light projects. He's trying out some new types of lights, I think, is what he's doing today. So we're both going to just be sharing our projects with you. And it's beautiful today. Oh my gosh. Our 10-day forecast just looks amazing. Most of the nights are not even getting close to freezing. Like most of them are in the low 40s. And like today's high is 60. There's no wind. It's just beautiful out here. Give you a little look here at how the fall landscape is shaping up. Looking quite nice. You can see that we've got a new house being built in the background, which will eventually be covered by all of our linden trees in the formal flower garden. But for now, we're going to be able to see it. The special thing about that, though, is that it's the daughter of the people who sold us the south garden. They live in the house that's just beyond the south garden. So, and they've got grandkids. They're going to be moving into that house. So they're going to be sharing a backyard, the grandparents with the kids and grandkids. And I could not ask for a better situation. I would love that. So I'm excited for them. But anyway, this is what the pots look like. These are we'll have to put what they are on the screen. I can't remember. Like something garden jardiniere or something. I can't remember. Anyway, they're large and we've got some gorgeous stuff to put in them. We are going to be packing as many Menton tulips as we can in the center, almost all the way out to the edge. And then along the edge, I'm going to plant Spanish bluebells. So Spanish bluebells and the Menton tulips both bloom late in the season, so they should be blooming at the same time, and we'll have that pink and purple look together. And the Spanish bluebells grow 14 to 18 inches tall, while the Mentons grow 23 to 25 inches tall. So we should have a beautiful bouquet. Now the thing about planting bulbs in containers, it's such an easy thing to do as long as the bulbs receive the cold period that they need, which, you know, clearly these will receive it because they're going to be outside, just getting the normal outside temperatures like they would in the ground. And we're going to plant them exactly the same depth as we would in the ground. It's just going to be easier because I don't have to bend over to do it. We get to do everything at container height. Now, if you're planting the bulbs in containers that you're going to just be tucking away somewhere for the winter time and then bringing them back out in the spring, you do need to make sure that they get enough cold. So they need to be kept somewhere that's between 35 and 45 degrees is usually right around the perfect range for chilling these type of bulbs. And they need to have, I know the tulips and daffs need to have at least 12 to 16 weeks of cold like that in order for their bud production to happen. I don't know about bluebells. I mean, they're going to get plenty, but I know hyacinths usually need 8 to 10 weeks. Crocus and snowdrops, things like that, need to right around 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. But you just need to make sure that they get that consistent chill period in order to bloom. And if you are in the south or somewhere where it's a more mild climate, places like Color Blends, which is where these bulbs came from, they will pre-chill the bulbs for you. So they will chill them and send them to you at the appropriate time to plant them, which I think is a really awesome thing to offer. That way you don't have to find a cold spot to put them. And then the moisture level is incredibly important as well. So out here, they're just going to get whatever moisture they get from the sky, which is perfect. That's what the ones in the grounds are going to get. They have drain holes at the bottom, so moisture level shouldn't be a problem. I think the things you need to watch for the most are in areas with tons and tons of moisture. It might be a situation where you need to put a board or something over the top of the container so that the bulbs don't just sit in water, because that can cause them to rot. Here we don't have to worry about that as much because we do have long dry spells even in the wintertime. On the opposite end of that spectrum, if it's too dry for too long, you have to water them, and we may have to do that. So we make it a practice every 2 to 3 weeks to come out and check all the containers anyway. We water things that have, you know, shrubs, trees, perennials in them, and then we will water these too if they need it. The goal is just slight moisture, not soggy, just not dried out. So what I'm going to have to do here, I brought my trug out and I've got my shovel up here. I am going to remove some of the soil, which is nice because it's not frozen. We'll remove some of the soil down to the 6-inch depth. We'll plant our tulips at 6 inches, and we'll put a little bit of soil on top of them The bluebells need to be at 4 inches. So we'll do our row of, or our line rather, of bluebells right along the outer edge, and then we can finish up with soil. And we do have the aquapot inserts in here. I was going to remove them, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't think it's going to adversely affect them to be in here, and I hope that I'm right about that. It'll be an experiment. I can imagine if there's any water in that reservoir, there's tons of soil around it for insulation, first of all, so it'll take something pretty deep, a deep, deep freeze to get it to freeze. But if it does, it's just got a lid that'll just lift off. Like the ice can just lift the lid off a little bit. When it melts, it can just go back down. So I don't think, it's not in there so tight that it will crack anything. Like there's room for it to move. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna do. I do notice that I'm out of bulb tone, and I am gonna put some of that in. So let's go grab some of that, and then we can get started. And I plan to do the same bouquet with the Menton and Spanish bluebells in all 7 of the pots out here. I think that'll be really striking and cohesive. And to be completely honest, I ordered all of these Menton tulips and Spanish bluebells to put in the front entryway flower bed. I'm not feeling it for that bed. I feel like I need to live with it now that it's planted with boxwoods and hydrangeas. I might just want to keep it clean. I don't know if I'm going to want to do annuals or bulbs and things like that up there. I'm not sure about it yet. So I think this is going to be a better way to use them. Oh gosh, we should stop right here really quick. Sorry, this is going to be like a day full of side notes. I just want to show you this border because I just love how it looks out here. I just think the layers are still so pretty. I mean, with the autumn joy sedum, the iris, which is trying to bloom again, yellow blooms. We've got the agastache still up, but looking really pretty just in its form. Look at this. With the ginger wine 9-bark, the proudberry coralberry in here, the moonstone spruce. I mean, oh, so much beauty. And the crabapple, my goodness. That is such a full crabapple. Anyway, we could go on and on. It just takes so long to get your space, or it feels like it takes so long to get your space into an area that you feel like speaks to you during all the seasons. Like there's interest during spring, summer, fall, and winter. That when you start to arrive at that, it feels so satisfying. I really need to work on the front of this border. Now next year, I would love for it to look more like this. You know, because when we plant annuals out here, it's gorgeous for the summer, but then we miss out on so much more. So I think like starting in on a mixed border along the lane would be really fun. And we're well on our way, for sure. There's a lot going on. Oh, look at the layers right here. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Whoop. Aaron was telling me he thinks that all the fertilizer is under the pole barn. I almost forgot about that. Oh, who is this kitty hanging out? Hey, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, I see you. You're pretty. Look at you. Hi, kitty. Hi. Oh, look. You look like you could belong in Douglas's family. Hi. Hi, kitty, kitty. Hey, you want to come over here? Oh, yeah. What a sweet kitty. You're pretty. You do look like and feel like Douglas. What a friendly little kitty, huh? You look really well taken care of, though. I bet you belong to somebody nearby. We'll let you do your thing. Anywho, here we go. Here's some bulb-tone. Just want to give her all the pets. Hi, kitty. You behave just like Douglas, too. You know that? Okay. Oh, geez, I need to focus. You know what? One of the pots is right here. We're just going to stop and get this one done. Right there. Won't that be pretty to see a huge spring display right there? I left my shovel at that other pot. I'm just going to use my hands, I think. The lovely thing about all these pots, too, is that they all have drip run to them. So next spring, when we turn our drip system back on, which it's all off at this point, but we'll just be ready to roll. Who needs a shovel? Okay, little bulb tone first. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, we're gonna go in with our tulips first. I hope we can fit a ton of them in here. Now with these, you do not have to worry about spacing them per like the in-ground planting instructions. You can almost just put these side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and then you'll get a big, full, beautiful display. And I'm leaving a little space around the outer part because once we put in a couple more inches of soil, I'll put my Spanish bluebells right along the edge. Also, we plant pointy side up, flat side toward the bottom. And I do think that that matters. I have way better luck when they're planted properly. Okay, outer ring. Oh my gosh, that's 100 tulips. The whole bag fit in one of our pots. Oh, that's gonna be glorious. I just wanted to show you a close-up of spacing. Like there's a little itty bit of space between them, but they could be touching and they'll be completely fine. And it will make for more of a glorious display. So now let's put a couple inches of soil and then we'll do our bluebells. Bluebell bulbs look a little bit different. Let me show you. Some of them look really similar to a tulip, like this one kind of has a tulip shape where the tip, you plant that facing up with that flatter side toward the bottom and you can see definite roots. And others are a little bit more nondescript, like this doesn't really have a pointy side, but you can see this more circular and hopefully, let me see, can you see that? Yeah, right there, that's the bottom. And that, it's like more of a hole on the top. That's the side we face up. Okay, next time I'm not going to dump out the whole bag. Whoops. 46 is how many bulbs it took. Well, maybe 47. I can fit another one in there. 47. And we're going to put the soil back over the top of everything. I'm going to probably have to go get a little bit more, but I'm going to plant everything first. So close. Yeah, so we'll come back in with probably not even a full bag of soil, just to about right here. Make sure there's about an inch lip, but we'll make sure that there's sufficient soil on top of all the bulbs. And at that point, I'll put the drip tube back on top. But that one's almost done. And I think going around and planting all of these first will be easier because then I'll have room then to fit bags of soil. So you guys, it's gonna be that times, actually there's 8 pots. I forgot to count one of them. So 7 more times. Here we go. Okay, that is all 8 of them, and we ended up with roughly 150 bulbs per pot. So now I'm actually going to go grab the water tank because I would like to water these in today. We don't have much rain on the forecast. And I'm also going to grab some land and sea compost. That's what I'm going to top them with instead of just regular potting soil because this potting soil has already been used. And you can see roots in it. It's been taxed a little bit. I want to add a little bit of extra nutrients in. Okay, I think we've already got water in it. Yep, I can see the water levels about right here. So we'll run and grab some land and sea compost, put it in here, and then we have everything we need to finish this project. Watering them in, top dressing with compost. Oh, a bunch of water's coming off the roof. Ah. Real fast and get it over with. Maybe. Oh, quick side note. I wanted to show you the aronia that we planted. These are the snowfire. Is that right? Look at how gorgeous. We planted 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 in a great big kind of lazy drift out here. And I was talking about the fall color when we put them in the ground. They were still pretty green when we planted them. But my goodness, they just light it up out here. And then they're going to be so full of white blooms in the spring. It's just going to be gorgeous. Anyway, I'm real happy with these. Oh, hi, kitty. Here's another one. That one has a collar on. Hi, kitty kitty. Are you a little skittish? Yeah, we're a little skittish. Okay, here we are. All done, you guys. Look at that. And it took way less bags of linseed than I thought it was going to. I brought 1 bag per pot thinking, well, that probably is a little bit much, but I only used 4 bags in total to top dress all the pots. And I just like the thought of that compost kind of working into the existing soil and providing extra nutrients. Everything's been watered in. Tomorrow, I think we've got like a 35% chance of rain, but after that, it looks clear for the next 9 days. And then we'll just be checking on these every 2 to 3 weeks. Like I said before, if they look like they are dry on the top, like the top few inches of soil, we'll make sure to splash a little water in there. I also think it's important when you're watering any container in the wintertime to get the entire soil surface. Don't just water in from one side, because you can keep the root ball like nice and moist on one side and it's deceiving. Like it doesn't sub out as far as you think it will sometimes. And the other side of the root ball can completely dry out, and that can also be damaging to your plants. So just like I watered these in, I like to go all the way around the outside and then make sure that all the soil gets a little bit of water. And gosh, there's still some really beautiful things over here. This is the Fama blue pincushion flower that we start from seed, and it kind of just grows in this wild mass. Of course, it's got more color earlier in the season. And then right below it, chamomile, which is so fragrant and so sweet. I just love this little spot. And I think right behind us over here, we're going to leave the superbena. I mean, we might cut it back, but we're going to leave the roots and just see what happens. We'll see. Every year, wherever we've had superbena, we usually remove the plants completely, or so we think, and the next year we have some volunteer back. So if some of those roots get left under the ground or under the soil surface, sometimes they will sprout. Now, if we leave all of these and intentionally leave the full root system and don't disrupt it, I wonder how much more regrowth we would get next season. I don't know. And maybe we'll leave the tops on just to provide a little bit of extra protection for the roots, since they are technically an annual. We'll have to just see how it goes. And you guys, that does it for our portion of the project today. Aaron's working on Christmas lights, so he's going to share that with you next. I may pop in and out and help him. I'm not sure how the rest of the day is going to go. But anyway, thank you for watching this portion of the video. I hope you enjoy this next part.
Hey guys, today the plan is to try out some new net lights that I got. Ken ordered them in for me. We've got them on the store. I've got net lights in the past, but they were from Walmart, and I had the most horrible luck. It was probably somewhere around like 40 to 50% of them, half of the strand just went out. So like half the section would work and then half wouldn't, and they looked terrible. So we tried to kind of fiddle with them, but it just wasn't worth it. So these new ones are more water sealed. The connections are not water sealed between each one, but each one of the lights is water sealed. So before that wasn't the case, and I don't know if that was what the issue was, but I totally wouldn't recommend the other ones. So anyway, we're gonna try these out and see how they do. I've got them in the back of the pickup. I need to run to the loft first. The reason I'm out here is because I'm gonna put them on these boxwoods right here, and then also these right here. And anyway, I need to run to the loft. We need to get some cords, timers, and then I've got the lights in the back of the pickup. So I'll put them all in the gator and bring them over here, and we'll start in. Okay, it's kind of a mess right now, but this is where we keep all of our lights. Laura keeps her boxes for Christmas trees. So somewhere in here, I don't know, I didn't put all this stuff away, Paul did, but somewhere in here we've got, oh, here we go. Yeah, perfect. Shouldn't need a ton. I feel like I'm kind of striking out, finding, oh, maybe no, these are just more cords. Oh, here we go. This is what we need. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab one of these. So this is what we use. They're just like dawn to dusk timers. We usually set them for 6 hours. Yeah, that's usually about right. Okay, here's all the net lights. So it looks like they come, like each one is packaged in its own box. This is what I mean, that each bulb is weather sealed, so you can't actually pull these bulbs out. They're just stuck. They're like, yeah, they don't come out, which is nice on the one hand that water can't get in, but I mean, I don't know if you could call them like indestructible, but they're just about indestructible. I think you can break like the green section, but I think you'd have to try really, really hard to actually break one of these bulbs. So I think you just generally don't need to swap them out. Okay, I've got my cord stretched out. I'm going to start right here at this boxwood, and I'm snaking it through the flower bed, and you can hardly see where the outlet is, but we had them install one right in here. Oh, they're both being used. Oh, you know what? I don't think this one's being used right now. There we go. Also, when I'm doing lights, I always try to make sure that everything's plugged in while I'm doing it, just in case there's an issue with the lights. All right, so these are supposed to be 6 feet long by 4 feet wide. I don't know. I kind of, okay, so this is the 4 feet section I have in my arms. I kind of feel like they're not gonna go very far. Oh my goodness. Okay. I was kind of thinking I could go 6 feet this way and 4, but like, I mean, these are already 2.5 feet tall. So it kind of makes sense. I have to do the 6 feet going this way and the 4 feet going this way. Oh man, this is gonna use so many lights. You wanna help me? Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, so the other thing is we gotta make sure that they go down all the way to the bottom, like that. I feel like even doing the 6 feet, we're only gonna be able to get 2 sides, or maybe just a little bit on the back. Oh man, these might not work. I guess the other option, Benjamin, is we could go 6 feet this way. Well, think about it. So if we go 6 feet this way and do 2 of them side by side. Oh, here, let me plug these in.
Yeah, maybe. That may work. Man, these look good. Good. I like the house.
Yeah?
Glad it's multicolored. I love multicolored.
Okay, so let's do this. We gotta go this way.
Just so you know, I didn't cut anything. So
That's good. Because if you cut them, that would be bad.
Yeah. Tell me when you need to.
Oh, that's not gonna look right.
Oh no.
Because look at this. If we do it that way,
Then that.
you'll have 2 strips of red and then green. Well, that's gonna look weird. Benjamin, we got a problem.
Oh, lights. Here we go.
Is that normal for them to be in strips like that? I feel like that's not. They're supposed to be like interspersed. Hold on.
Actually, this does look cool.
Hold on. Okay, I called Ken and he's looking into it. It's a weird deal. So because it's bright outside, this does not, I mean, I don't even think you can tell that they're on right now, but it goes like the top line is red, 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 red. So it just looks striped. The colors are not interspersed. They're just stripes of colors, which is bizarre. And I looked at let me see if you can see this. You see the photo on the website? Like, no 2 colors touch each other. So, you know, like red up at the top, orange, blue, yellow, green. Yeah, no 2 colors are supposed to touch each other. But here, they're definitely touching each other. Green, 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 orange, orange, orange. Anyway, okay, so I'm just gonna leave this here for now. I'm gonna pivot and we're gonna do something else. I've got a ton of, I know that the company will make it right. You know, we can send these back if they're defective, you know, if they were made incorrectly. So I'm not really worried about that. It's a pain in the butt, you know, because we got them all out and I was ready to do the project. But, you know, I don't know, stuff happens. We'll just, I'll report back when I know. I do have some other lights that I want to try out. I've got some pure white, which typically in the past I have kind of shied away from pure white because Laura always really likes warm white. Like, let me show you. Again, I don't even know if you can see that these lights are on, but like this type of a warm white, she's always really liked that. you know, like these lights are warm white. She doesn't like lights that look too blue, but I think that the pure white lights are supposed to not necessarily be blue. They're like pure white. It's not, I don't think it's a cool white. So anyway, we'll plug those in. I'll probably have to show you when it's dark to see what they actually look like, but I'll wrap something and we'll see what we think. Okay, as if lights weren't complicated enough, these are the pure white ones. And these are called M5 lights, which is funny because it's very similar to the other lights. Whether these are net lights or not, these are called 5mm conical lights, which are pretty common. Like these are, I want to say like maybe the most common when you start getting into, like when you stop buying your lights from Walmart, like me, these are pretty common. So these look a little bit more like the old school lights, but they kind of have this like refraction. I don't know what they call that, but it kind of looks a little bit more like old school lights. So anyway, let me grab a couple of these and take them into the root cellar and we'll see what they look like. Okay, I don't know how the lighting is going to be, but here's a side-by-side comparison of the warm white. These are just like the standard, what I was saying, the 5mm conical lights, and then the pure white lights. They're not cool white. At least they're not listed like that. They're probably similar in color to cool white. But anyway, I think that they're interesting. I think it's kind of a cool look. I'm gonna go find a tree to put these on and we'll see what they look like at night. I just went inside to show Laura what they look like. And she gave me kind of a, so that means I need to find somewhere that's a little more hidden. I think she's fine with it. She just maybe doesn't want it front and center. So yeah, this will work. I've got 15 strands. I can't imagine I would need more than that for this tree. We're behind the dream stream, behind the barn. So it's it's far enough away from the house that that Laura's probably gonna be okay with it. Okay, let's see what they look like. Here's a quick little tip when you're connecting strands together. If you do this, see how there's a gap from this light to this light. So if you do something more like that, it puts the lights closer together and then you don't end up with that gap. Okay, you guys, these are the two options. On the right, we have just regular, like 100 count strands of multi lights. And then over here are the net lights. And I got word from Ken, he got with the company, and this is how they're supposed to be. We did some Google searching. Like if you Google image search, it's common. Like a lot of net lights they just run in a row. So either if you run it, over this way, then the rows are gonna, kind of go over the boxwoods. And then if you run it this way, it's gonna go along the boxwood. I think I favor the one on the right. So I think that's the direction we're gonna go. I'm probably gonna send back the net lights. We still have these on the store. So if you love this look, if you really, really want that, then you know where to buy it. But I don't really prefer it. So I don't think I'm gonna go that route. But I'd love for you guys to chime in and tell me what you think. We can easily get more of these multi-strands. They're like super common lights. So yeah, let me show you the pure white. Well, I'm short because of course I am. So I'll get two more and do the rest of the tree. But you guys will remember I showed Laura and she was like, nah, I don't really like these. But later, I've just kept these on and she came out and she was like, I kind of do like those. I think they look kind of cool and they're sparkly. They actually look, you know, in the camera, they look a little different than what they do in real life. They are very pure white. In the camera, they don't seem to be quite as pure white in the camera. They look a little bit more on the yellow side, but I can tell you it's a very like silvery white color. And I like it. And Laura does too. So I might get more than just 2 strands. I might get, you know, another 20 strands, and we can do a few other trees in this color. So anyway, there you go. I feel like today was a little bit of a bust, honestly, because I didn't get near as much done as I wanted to, with the whole net lights not looking quite the way I thought they were going to. But you know what? It is what it is. Yeah, I'll just keep at it. I've got some other stuff that I'll show you guys in future videos of what we're doing for lights. So anyway, thanks for watching.